The alien armada moved like a living storm across the void. Thousands of vessels, sleek and imposing, formed a vast fleet that stretched beyond the edges of sensor range. The Causal Empire, a dominant force in this sector of the galaxy, had claimed hundreds of star systems through force and intimidation. Now their eyes were set on the uncharted system designated Delta-7. Admiral Vorak, commander of the Armada, gazed at the tactical display aboard his flagship, the Dominion. His voice was calm but resolute. Prepare to establish control. No resistance is expected. Scan for intelligent life forms. The alien crews moved efficiently. The hum of energy, weapons, and engines, a steady rhythm beneath the calm announcements. Yet, as the fleet entered the system's outer reaches, an unexpected blip appeared on long-range scanners, a solitary vessel, unlike any they had encountered before. It was a battleship of human design, a craft engineered with precision and power. Captain Marissa Chen stood on the bridge of the Resolute, her eyes fixed on the approaching armada. Her ship's systems hummed with readiness. Energy weapons charged. Shields at full capacity. Admiral Vorak, her voice echoed over the open channel, clear and confident. You have entered human-claimed space. State your intentions. A ripple of surprise passed through the alien fleet. Vorak's expression tightened. This is Admiral Vorak of the Causal Empire. We seek to survey and claim this system in the name of our empire. You are advised to stand down. Chen's lips curved into a slight smile. This system is under the protection of the United Earth Coalition. We do not tolerate unauthorized incursions. Leave immediately or face resistance. Vorak scoffed, his confidence unshaken. You are but one ship. Your threat is insignificant compared to our fleet. The human captain's gaze did not waver. Size is not the only measure of strength. You will learn that soon enough. Sensors on the Resolute detected the Armada shifting formation, weapons powering up. The Causal fleet had never faced a foe so bold, so unyielding. The silence stretched. Charged with tension, suddenly, the Resolute unleashed a barrage of energy pulses, precise and devastating, targeting the Armada's lead vessels. The Causal ships staggered under the unexpected assault. Vorak's voice was sharp. Attack. Destroy that vessel. The battle erupted. Energy beams cut through the darkness of space. Alien cruisers fired swarms of missiles, while the Resolute darted with agile grace, its weapon systems firing with calculated accuracy. Despite overwhelming odds, the human ship's shields held firm, absorbing blasts that would cripple lesser vessels. The Resolute's tactical algorithms exploited weaknesses in the alien formations, striking with speed and precision. Vorak's confidence began to falter. This was no ordinary ship. The humans fought with a ferocity and determination he had never witnessed. As the Armada regrouped, a new realization spread among the fleet: human technology was advanced beyond their expectations, and their fighting spirit was unmatched. Captain Chen's voice rang out once more. This is your only warning. Withdraw from this system, or be destroyed. The Causal Armada faced an unfamiliar choice: retreat or risk. Annihilation by a single human battleship. The swirling remnants of the first exchange still hung in space, flickering in the glow of distant stars. The Causal Armada, though vast and powerful, had been caught off guard by the resilience and precision of the lone human battleship. Admiral Vorak's pride was bruised, but his resolve hardened. From his command chair aboard the Dominion, Vorak stared at the tactical holodisplay. His fingers tapped rhythmically as he weighed his options. The humans have shown unexpected strength, he admitted to his senior officers, but numbers will overwhelm their courage. Prepare the fleet for a decisive strike. A murmur of approval rippled through the command deck. The Kazal had crushed entire civilizations with less effort than it now took to face one ship. To them, the humans were an anomaly, curious, but insignificant. Meanwhile, aboard the Resolute, Captain Marissa Chen monitored the alien preparations. Her calm demeanor masked the tension that gripped the crew. Every sensor was trained on the Armada's movements, every weapon ready to respond. Lieutenant Alina Morales approached Chun's station. "Captain, the Armada is organizing a concentrated assault pattern. They intend to surround us and crush our defenses." Chen nodded, lips tightening. "Then we'll make sure they don't get the chance." Over the open channel, Chen's voice carried with steady authority. "Admiral Vorak, you underestimate humanity's will and strength. We protect this system not just with firepower, but with our unity and resolve." Vorak's reply was sharp, dripping with disdain. "Your bravado will not save you. We are the Castle Empire. Resistance is futile." Suddenly, the Armada shifted into an encircling formation. Swarms of smaller fighters poured out from carriers, their sleek forms swarming toward the Resolute. Chen's tactical officers relayed warnings as energy shields flared. The battleship's weapon systems responded, with precision targeting, taking down enemy fighters with surgical efficiency. But the Castle were relentless. They adapted their tactics quickly, launching coordinated waves aimed to overwhelm the ship's defenses. In the chaos of battle, the humans revealed unexpected tactics. Boarding pods were launched toward larger alien vessels, not to destroy them outright, but to seize control. Alina Morales led one such boarding party. Clad in advanced exosuits, her team infiltrated the Vanguard, a heavy cruiser, disabling its engines and weapons from within. The alien crew was stunned by the audacity and skill of their attackers. Back on the Resolute, Chen watched as the battle evolved. The Kazal Armada, powerful but rigid in strategy, struggled to adapt to human unpredictability. Communication between the alien ships began to falter as electronic warfare drones disrupted signals. The humans' hybrid technology, blending human innovation and scavenged alien components, created unexpected advantages. Vorak's frustration mounted. His orders grew desperate. Concentrate fire on the battleship. Break their shields. The Resolute shook under the combined assault, its hull groaning under pressure. But the humans held fast, their shields absorbing the fury. Then, in a move that stunned even the human crew, the battleship executed a sudden, high-speed maneuver through the alien formation, emerging in the Armada's rear, with weapons locked. On critical command ships, Chen's voice was calm but firm. "This is your final warning. Withdraw now, or we will end this engagement." For the first time, silence answered her. Admiral Vorak clenched his fists. He had never expected to face such determination. Yet the human's warning was clear and undeniable. "Prepare for a final assault," he growled. "If they will not yield, we will show no mercy." The stage was set for a clash that would shake the galaxy's understanding of power and resilience. The void between the two forces crackled with tension. The Kazal Armada had regrouped after their failed encirclement and now surged forward, weapons primed for total annihilation. Captain Marissa Chen gripped the command console of the Resolute, steady and focused as the enemy closed in. "Enemy fleet concentrating fire on our shields," reported Lieutenant Dax, the ship's tactical officer. "Shields at 70% and dropping. Divert additional power to forward shields and ready the ion cannons," Chen commanded. "We'll show them why humans do not surrender." The Resolute's hull vibrated as the first volley of plasma blasts slammed into its defenses, painting the blackness with fiery bursts. The alien fleet's firepower was overwhelming in sheer volume. But the human battleship's design focused on adaptability and precision. The captain initiated the ships. New experimental weapon, the pulse beam array. Unlike traditional energy weapons, it combined concentrated pulses of charged particles with quantum frequency modulation, delivering focused bursts that could punch through the toughest armor with surgical precision. Target the flagship, Chen ordered. Pierce its hull and disable their command systems. The pulse beams fired in rapid succession, streaking like electric lightning across the battlefield. Several Castle vessels faltered, shields failing and hulls breaching under the unexpected assault. Admiral Vorak's eyes narrowed. "What is this sorcery?" he muttered as alarms blared on his bridge. "Weapons output unknown," his chief engineer reported. "They are adapting faster than anticipated." Meanwhile, the Resolute employed evasive maneuvers rarely seen in capital ships. Where others might hold formation, Chen's ship darted like a predator, using its speed and agility to exploit gaps in the enemy's lines. The alien fleet struggled to keep pace, their large vessels cumbersome against the human battleships. NIMBLENESS, below decks, Lieutenant Elena Morales and her boarding party prepared for another assault. Their mission was clear: board and disable key enemy vessels to further cripple the Armada's combat effectiveness. "Ready your gear," Morales said, her voice steady despite the chaos outside. "We strike when the fleet's attention is elsewhere." Back on the bridge, sensors detected a massive surge of energy from the enemy flagship. It was preparing a devastating weapon, one meant to obliterate the Resolute in a single strike. Chen's jaw tightened. "Prepare countermeasures and focus all power on shield reinforcement. We won't go down without a fight." As the alien flagship unleashed its Weapon A concentrated wave of energy with destructive radius human, engineers fired the newly developed dispersal fields, diffusing the blast's impact. The shield held, though barely. With a cry of determination, Chen ordered a full-power charge to the ship's primary weapons. The pulse beam array fired again, hitting the flagship's engine core. Sparks flew across the enemy command bridge as systems failed one by one. The flagship slowed, its fleet faltering without clear leadership. In the midst of battle, the human boarding party struck. Morales's team infiltrated two more alien cruisers, disabling weapon systems and causing confusion across the enemy ranks. Reports of alien crews surrendering or fleeing began filtering through the Resolutes. Admiral Vorak's frustration boiled over. "This is not over," he snarled. "We will adapt and crush them." Chen's voice was calm but resolute. "We are only beginning. Humanity fights with heart and ingenuity. You will learn to respect that." The battle raged on. The human battleship, a beacon of defiance in the heart of the alien Armada. The aftermath of the Resolute's assault left the Kazal Armada in disarray. Once proud and confident, the fleet now bore the scars of relentless, precise strikes from a single human battleship. Reports streamed in from the front lines: alien vessels crippled, command structures disrupted, and morale waning. Admiral Vorak stood on the command bridge of the Dominion, his eyes shadowed by fatigue and unease. A T stared at the holographic display of his battered fleet, vessels blinking red as systems failed. The humans had shattered not only their defenses, but their confidence. "Commander Sla," Vorak called to his chief tactical officer, "what do you make of their tactics?" Sla's voice was measured, tinged with disbelief. "Their fighting style is unpredictable and adaptive. They exploit every weakness we reveal. Our traditional formations are ineffective." Vorak growled. "We were unprepared for this level of resistance. They are unlike any species we have encountered." Elsewhere, the alien crews exchanged whispered fears. Stories circulated of the humans' boarding parties, small teams infiltrating ships with surgical precision, disabling engines and weapons before the aliens even realized the attack had begun. On board the Resolute, Captain Chen observed the ripple effects of their assault. The Khazal were visibly shaken, no longer confident of an easy victory. "Maintain pressure," Chen instructed. "We must turn their fear into surrender." Lieutenant Morales reported from her latest boarding mission. 2 cruisers secured. Enemy crew demoralized. They are beginning to question their commanders. In the alien ranks, cracks formed quickly. Some commanders advocated retreat, unwilling to face the seemingly invincible human ship. Others urged renewed aggression, desperate to crush the human before more losses piled up. Admiral Vorak's own council grew divided. Some feared the humans. Technology and tactics were harbingers of a greater threat. Others clung to empire pride, refusing to believe one ship could stand against thousands. Vorak himself wrestled with doubt. The humans fought with a fierceness born not of arrogance, but of unitia. Concept alien to the rigid caste system of the Khazal. On the battlefield, the Resolute continued to dance through enemy fire, shields flickering but holding. The human crew moved with practiced efficiency, every action purposeful. Chen addressed her crew over the comms. "Remember what we fight for. Our home, our people, our future. We stand not just for Earth, but for every life that deserves peace." The battle reached a critical point when the alien flagship attempted a coordinated strike to destroy the Resolute's weapon systems. The human ship responded with a daring counterstrike, disabling the flagship's weapon arrays and crippling its command capabilities. The ripple effect was immediate. Without centralized command, the Khazal fleet faltered, formations breaking apart under continued human assault. Admiral Vorak realized that this was more than a military confrontation. It was a test of wills. He called a private meeting with his senior officers. "We must reconsider our approach. The humans are not just warriors, they are something else entirely." As the sun rose over the distant stars, the Khazal Armada hesitated for the first time, their confidence shattered by the fierce spirit of humanity. The galaxy was witnessing the dawn of a new era, one where strength was measured not by numbers alone, but by heart, ingenuity, and the unyielding will to protect. The Khazal Armada, battered and confused, pulled back slightly to regroup. Yet the Resolute did not ease its assault. Captain Marissa Chen knew that hesitation could cost them everything. The humans had to maintain the upper hand before the aliens could adapt and strike back with deadly precision. In the war room, Chen reviewed recent intelligence gathered by the ship's advanced sensor arrays. "Our electronic warfare drones have successfully infiltrated their comm networks," she reported to her officers. "They're scrambling to maintain coordination, but our interference is causing delays and confusion." Lieutenant Dax nodded, eyes flicking over streams of data. "Their encrypted channels are faltering. We can intercept and block key commands." Morales, fresh from another boarding mission, joined the meeting. "The crews on the enemy ships are losing faith. They're demoralized, distrustful of their commander's ability to protect them." Chen looked toward the large tactical display. "This is more than just a battle. It's a psychological war. We have the advantage if we keep the pressure on." Meanwhile, across the system, the Khazal command struggled to repair damaged vessels and restore communication. Admiral Vorak paced his quarters, frustration evident in every movement. "We cannot allow these humans to dictate the terms," he declared during a briefing. "Our technology is superior, yet they somehow counter every tactic." His chief engineer CLA offered a sobering analysis. "Their ship employs a hybrid of their own innovation and scavenged technology. Their electronic warfare is far more advanced than anticipated." Vorak's jaw clenched. "We must uncover their weaknesses before they dismantle our entire armada." Back on the Resolute, Chen ordered a daring move. "Deploy stealth drones into the heart of the enemy fleet. gather intelligence, and prepare for targeted strikes. The small, agile drones slipped through debris fields and damaged ships, relaying crucial information in real time. One drone captured images of alien weapon prototypes, previously unknown to the humans powerful, but vulnerable to disruption. Using the intel, the Resolute adjusted its tactics, focusing attacks on critical systems rather than brute force. On board the alien flagship, confusion spread among officers as commands conflicted and ships began drifting aimlessly. The psychological toll of losing control was visible even through distant sensors. Admiral Vorak summoned his council. We must reconsider our strategy. The humans' blend of technology and morale is formidable. One officer suggested retreat to preserve remaining forces, but Vorak refused. Retreat now would be a sign of weakness. We must adapt or perish. Meanwhile, the human boarding teams pressed their advantage. Morales' unit had successfully disabled 4 more cruisers and captured key intelligence that would prove invaluable. Chen's voice resonated through the Resolute's comms. Humanity stands united not only by technology, but by unbreakable spirit. We fight for survival and coexistence. As the battle wore on, the alien armada's cohesion unraveled. Their once feared fleet was now fragmented and vulnerable. The humans had revealed something far beyond mere firepower. They had shown a combination of cunning, adaptability, and courage that even the most advanced species had not anticipated. The galaxy watched closely, its future forever altered by the arrival of a single human battleship that challenged an empire and changed the balance of power. The battered Kazal Armada drifted in uneasy silence, their ships damaged and crews shaken. The relentless precision of the Resolute had not only shattered their formations, but also their sense of invincibility. Admiral Vorak stood firm on the bridge of the Dominion, his mind racing to find a way to regain control. We must regain communication with our scattered vessels, Vorak ordered. Deploy repair drones and attempt to restore command protocols. Yet the humans had anticipated this. The Resolute's electronic warfare teams were already jamming the Kazal networks with increased intensity, leaving many alien ships isolated. And vulnerable Captain Chen stood at her station, eyes fixed on the flickering tactical displays. Their fleet is fragmented. We can exploit this. Her voice carried calm assurance. But behind it lay the fierce determination of a people fighting for their place in the galaxy. Lieutenant Morales. Prepare another boarding party, Chen commanded. Target the isolated cruisers. Disable their systems before they can regroup. Morales nodded, gathering her team swiftly. Each member of the boarding party knew the stakes failure was not an option. As the boarding teams moved through the wreckage fields, they encountered pockets of alien resistance. But the Kazal crews were disorganized and weary. The humans' combination of advanced exosuits and tactical precision gave them a decisive edge. Meanwhile, the Resolute engineers worked around the clock to optimize shield output and weapon efficiency. The experimental pulse beam arrays had proven devastating, but the crew was already planning upgrades based on real-time battle data. Chen's strategic mind saw beyond the immediate fight. This was not just a battle for a star system. It was the beginning of a new chapter for humanity's role in the cosmos. Suddenly, sensors detected an incoming fleet on the far edge of the system, reinforcements for the Kazal Armada. Vorax. Desperation grew. They send more ships, the chief engineer warned. If they arrive in full strength, we risk being overwhelmed. Chun's eyes narrowed. Then we must finish this before they do. With calculated resolve, the Resolute launched a targeted assault on the Kazal supply and command vessels, crippling their ability to coordinate reinforcements. The human battleship's speed and agility allowed it to strike swiftly, then retreat, before the enemy could mount an effective counterattack. On the alien flagship, Vorak clenched his fists. They fight with a ferocity unlike anything we imagined. It's as if their spirit fuels their technology. His officers looked at him uncertainly, realizing that this conflict had changed their understanding of power. The battle crescendoed as the Q Resolute faced the newly arrived causal reinforcements head-on. Despite being outnumbered, the human crew fought with relentless determination, using every advantage their technology and training afforded. Energy beams and plasma bolts lit the darkness as the clash intensified. The Resolute absorbed punishment while delivering devastating counterstrikes, its shields flickering but never failing. Amid the chaos, Chen's voice echoed over the comms. "This is humanity's stand. We will not back down. We fight for peace, but we are ready for war." As the dust settled, the Kazal reinforcements faltered, their formations broken and morale shaken. The tide had turned. Admiral Vorak, battered but unbroken, realized the true nature of the enemy before him. Not just a single battleship, but the indomitable spirit of a species determined to carve its destiny among the stars. The relentless conflict stretched into days, each moment marked by fierce exchanges and calculated maneuvers. The Resolute, though battered and worn, had become a symbol of defiance, not only to the Kazal, but to the galaxy watching from afar. Captain Marissa Chen's leadership had transformed the battle from a desperate defense into a campaign of relentless pressure. On board the Dominion, Admiral Vorak paced, his confidence eroding with every failed attempt to regain the initiative. The alien armada was fractured and demoralized. Their once unquestioned supremacy was slipping away under the humans' unwavering assault. "Our losses mount," Vorak admitted to his command staff. "We must change our approach. The humans fight with tactics and spirit unlike any we have faced. We need something different, something unexpected." His tactical officer suggested deploying new experimental weapons energy disruptors, designed to neutralize the Resolute's pulse beam array and electronic warfare systems. Vorak approved the plan, hoping to finally cripple the human battleship. Meanwhile, aboard the Resolute, Chen received intel about the new alien weapons. "Prepare countermeasures," she ordered. "We'll adapt, as always." Her crew worked tirelessly, analyzing the incoming technology and developing new defenses in real time. As the next wave of Kazal ships advanced, the Resolute met them head-on. The battle erupted with a fury unmatched before blazing energy, shaking hulls and the eerie hum of experimental weapons. For a moment, it seemed the alien disruptors were effective. The pulse beam array faltered under the new assault, and the ship's electronic warfare systems blinked with interference. But the humans' resilience showed. Engineers quickly rerouted power, stabilizing systems. Tactical teams adjusted firing protocols, compensating for disruptions. Captain Chen's voice rang out. "Hold fast, everyone. This is the moment we prove who we are." The Resolute unleashed a devastating salvo, targeting the experimental weapons on enemy ships. The precision of the attack disabled several disruptor arrays, turning the tide once more. Simultaneously, Morales' boarding team struck again, taking advantage of the confusion. Their rapid strikes destabilized the Kazal fleet further, sowing chaos amid the enemy ranks. On the Dominion, Admiral Vorak's hope waned. The humans' combination of technology, adaptability, and unyielding spirit was unmatched. He gathered his remaining officers. "We face defeat not only by force, but by the unbreakable will of our opponent. Prepare to withdraw. We will live to fight another day." As the Kazal fleet began its retreat, the Resolute held position. Shields raised, but weapons lowered in a silent declaration of victory. Captain Chen addressed her crew. "Today we showed the galaxy the strength of humanity. We fight not for conquest, but for survival and peace." News of the battle spread quickly across star systems. Other civilizations watched in awe as the lone human battleship shattered the myth of the invincible Castle Armada. For the first time, humanity was recognized not just as newcomers, but as a force to be reckoned with, champions of resilience, ingenuity, and hope. The retreat of the Castle Armada marked the end of one battle but the beginning of a new chapter for humanity and the galaxy alike. The Resolute floated in the quiet expanse, its hull scarred, but its crew triumphant. Captain Marissa Chen stood on the bridge, gazing out at the distant stars that had witnessed their fierce stand. "Status report," Chen commanded, her voice steady but filled with the weight of what had been accomplished. Lieutenant Dax responded promptly. "Shields stable at 65%. Pulse beam arrays operational after repairs. Boarding teams returning with captured data and prisoners." The mood on board was a mixture of relief, exhaustion, and cautious optimism. The crew knew the war was far from over, but they had sent a clear message: humanity would not be underestimated. Back in the Castle territories, Admiral Vorak regrouped with his surviving commanders. Though wounded, their resolve was not broken. "We underestimated humanity," Vorak admitted. "Their strength lies not just in their technology, but in their spirit and unity." He gazed at the stars, a rare moment of humility crossing his features. "We must learn from this. They are no ordinary foe." News of the battle spread rapidly through the galactic networks. Allies and adversaries alike took note of humanity's unexpected emergence. Some saw a new potential ally, others a new threat. But none could deny the impact of a single human battleship standing firm against a mighty armada. On Earth, the revelation ignited hope and pride. Governments and citizens celebrated not just a military victory, but the recognition of humanity's place among the stars. Captain Chen addressed a live broadcast to the world. "We fought for our homes, for our future, and for peace. Let this victory remind us all that with courage and unity, even the greatest challenges can be overcome." The Resolute received new orders to continue exploring, protecting, and building alliances. Humanity's role was no longer just survival, it was leadership, as repairs were completed and supplies replenished. Chen took a moment to reflect. The battle had changed everything, not just for the galaxy, but for every human aboard the ship. They had proven that strength comes in many forms: innovation, resilience, and above all, the will to stand together. The stars beyond beckoned with endless possibilities, and humanity was ready. A new dawn had arrived. The galaxy was watching, and humanity was ready to shine.